on there. His name's Andy. I suppose he's an ex-player, but he's the most appalling person I've ever heard on TV or radio. His description of what was going on was so bad that I cannot begin to believe. Every time Birmingham made a foul, he wanted him sent off. Every time Albion kicked anybody, the opposition died. Every time Albion managed to pass the ball 3 feet, he was breathless. Oh, what a pass! Uh, no, I will give him credit for one thing. He did liven up, which was a pretty dull game, to be honest. Only livened up in the last minutes when some yam from the crowd bawls obscenities and racism at Bakuna, extending the game from 97 minutes to 99 minutes. But we still couldn't find an equaliser. In fact, we couldn't find a chance in the whole of the 100 odd minutes that the match took place. Um, we were okay. Uh, we defended pretty well. We hit the post, which was the only real uh, close effort that we had, um, and it was dull. Um, both defences are on top. Theirs was probably a little tighter than ours, mainly because they got three giants in the middle of their defence, whereas we'd only got normal sized people. Uh, never went well. Never went well. We had no problems in the first half, and then uh, we lost Buchanan through injury. That didn't help. Uh, the referee should have sent one of their guys off for a second buckle offence, and he didn't. And he made a mistake then, and he would admit he made a mistake because uh, um, Sunic did the same thing and probably was more deserving of being sent off, but he ignored he gave the free kick, but ignored anything else. So that was the sort of situation we were finding ourselves. It was a wet and horrible day, a wet and horrible game, and fair play to them. Uh, at the end of the day, they scored, we didn't, and it came from a right wing cross, and the ex Villa. I don't even want to repeat his name because he started being stupid after the game, waving at the Blues fans and getting them all excited, and players had to be dragged off the field. So that's what sort of idiocy we've been dealing with all afternoon. And frankly, I've had enough. I've had enough of it. Um, the goal was a good one, and got in from the right, pulled it back, and uh, it hit the striker on the knee and flew in the net. 1-0 with 15 minutes to go. And we never looked like scoring up until then, and we never looked like scoring afterwards. Uh, we've spent all this time, and we've signed three new players who all took part today. Pritchard had a couple of nice little touches, and then disappeared at half time. Uh, uh, um, Dazelle did nothing. He took a lot of bad corners. He did pass the ball to. I mean, he didn't give the ball away. That's something. But he was never incisive. He never broke past anybody. Um, and we saw after Sunic went off, we got Pak Song Ho made a bit of appearance, and he did nothing. Uh, took a few bad corners and passed the ball sideways. A la Jack Grealish, the neatest player, he gives it to him. Not going to create anything doing that. So I'm pretty upset. As I say, we've bought another three midfield players. We got more midfield players than that now, and yet we can't find anybody who will put the ball in the net. Stansfield is our only threat, and with the possibility of Dembele, and they were both nailed to the floor. They never got anywhere. Um, Stansfield had one shot in the first half, got some beef behind it, but it was straight at the keeper. And Dembele uh, went in and out of their back four, but eventually, he beat one, he beat two, but the third one would take it off him. And if they didn't, they flattened him anyway. So he was ineffective, to say the least. And I was going to say, well, as I said in my midweek blog, we're still in the relegation zone. And lo and behold, today, Huddersfield have gone and won 4-0 against Sheffield, which, well done, Dave, Big Dave, uh, for that. And QPR won at Blackburn. Remember Blackburn, who stuck four past us? QPR have gone and won there. Now, you think that would be a tragedy, but lo and behold, we've actually gone up one place in the table because Stoke have lost and their goal difference is worse than ours. Now then, I'm absolutely, as I said, I'm absolutely furious. What we did today was pathetic, to be honest. It was pathetic. Um, Everybody wound up, three new signings, blah 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 blah. But we were Wayne Rooney-esque, I'm afraid. Never looked like winning the game. Now, we all know what happened last Saturday when we created 9 chances. We created none today. So, we're back to being 1 point something goals per game. Not good enough. Not good enough. We've got to be scoring 2 goals at least every game. And where they're going to find somebody to do that. Now they've got to find somebody. I think Kessie Anderson, if of what we've got, might help. Uh, Juki's injured now, and you know, 35-year-olds take forever to heal up. So I'm concerned, to be honest. I am concerned. We've got the game of all games on Friday against Sheffield Wednesday. Now, if we don't go and win there, then I'm afraid uh, we are locked in on a relegation fight. And suddenly the fixtures that we look at, when we were winning at Stoke and beating Hull and giving Leicester a pasting, everybody think, well, we'll win. But those teams are all above us in the table, and so were the Albion today, and they weren't great. They weren't great at all. Uh, we've got to play all these. We haven't got to play the Albion again, thankfully, but we've got to play the Ipswiches, and we've got to go to Leicester, and we've got to go to. Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough have got to come to us, and it's the fixture list suddenly takes on a different tone now with this defeat today. A point wouldn't have been enough. We wanted, and we should have got 3 points from this game today. West Brom are flatterers. How they're up in that slot. They lost the last 3 games and never looked like losing to us. Now, we're back to the Tilton Talk Show on Monday night. We don't have a super duper guest like we did last week, but we've got plenty to talk about. I've already had some messages from my mates on the Tilton Talk Show, and we were already falling out on whose fault and what went wrong. So tune in on Monday night for a right little Barney. All the best. God bless you all.